The fifth dimension of existence. Welcome. We've been awaiting your arrival.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Treat Your Tempo. We are on our third episode of Revelations, and of course I'm having special guests today, and we will be talking about partnerships, talking about divine relationships, high vibrational relationships, and just really community, common unity. I'm really excited about the depths of where the conversation will be going today, because I am having one of my favorite couples on, and lately relationships has been a major thing for me, so I'm really grateful to have them come on and give a little bit more insight on high vibrational relationships and community and having discernment in those types of things. If you don't know, that Treat Your Temple is a platform that I utilize to share self-care journeys, transformational and spiritual healing techniques and skills with other people who utilize them in their life. And this season, I am speaking to a few of the people that I spoke with last season and just seeing how their transformation has occurred over this year's span. And the couple that I have coming on here today, I'm glad you could make it here too. The couple I have coming on here today has been traveling in the same light as me and my partner, so I really am grateful to have them come on here and give a little insight onto that. But how y'all treating y'all temples today? I'm a night owl, so I get really much clarity in the wee hours of the night. So I was up doing some research on human design last night, and I was doing some energy flow reports, and I learned some new stuff that I'm really excited to share with y'all here today too. I learned some new things. If you are not aware that I do offer energy flow reports, in my link in my bio, check that out, because that has been changing my life, and I've really been working really hard to get more in depth on that and get more like, it's so deep. Like, our designs as a human, we literally came here with a plan, a blueprint. We came here with instructions. We came here with goals already set and destined for us. So it's really beneficial for us to find different ways in which we can tap in and learn about that design that we have, learn about those instructions that we came here with. Like, our birth charts is one way that we could tap into those things. Human design is the next level, because it takes your birth charts, it takes your chakras, it takes all these different modalities and kind of combines it into one. And I think that it's really important to delve into those things, to life sciences, to really oh wow, she said she called off to work today. Don't play. Do something for your soul today. If your soul was screaming, I ain't coming to work today, call their ass and say, I'm not doing it. Because today you have the opportunity to find a little bit deeper of what your instructions are for yourself. That could be a distraction. That's what I've been learning with doing these energy flow reports, that a lot of the things that we just innately do, or have been programmed to do, or conditioned to do, or see in normal society as this is what I'm supposed to do, goes totally against our design, goes totally against the instructions that we have for our purpose here, goes totally against the soul in itself. So do what's feeling resonant in your spirit, because right now it's a big shift happening that is really calling for each and every one of us to tune in a little bit deeper into our soul speaking to us, and and cancel out all of the outside instruction. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, the energy flow reports is at the link in my bio if you would like a little bit more insight on your design, on how your energy flows, on instructions on your life purpose, and how you could essentially gravitate into that energy in a more alignment. Because I know I was conditioned like a motherfucker to be doing stuff I ain't supposed to be doing. I ain't supposed to be working. And I started working, and I'm like, this ain't, I know when I was working at the job, I really wasn't doing it, but I didn't understand really why. And it's because my design as a projector, if you're a projector, we're not here to work. We're not here to work. We're here to guide. And that's a societal thing where we could be deemed as lazy. We could be deemed as, just not having any type of goals, or not having any type of will or motivation. But in essence, we're really just really in our own energy and flowing with our own energy. And if we flow in our own energy, if each one of us actually flows more in our own energy, we would collectively operate more smoothly. So make sure you in alignment with yourself. All right, so I believe my guests are here. And I would like to add them in. But yeah, so as we're waiting, I wanted to tap in on, again, why I'm calling this season Revelations. Oh, here they go.
Yo.
Hey, beautiful.
We are getting our device set up.
Okay, so while y'all getting y'all device set up, I got some tunes. Because if y'all don't know, the posse cut just dropped last Friday, and my guy Woody Beast did his thing on the posse cut with the Soul Sky, with Lizzie Jeff, with Queen Tender B. They had Sunrise the Divine on the track, and Red Pill. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it. It's long, so I'm gonna put it on my playlist at the link in my bio on my YouTube as well, so for y'all to get the whole thing. But I'm gonna play a little bit of this while y'all get set up.
Yeah.
Hey.
We know speaking to is it like voila. No facade, big up to all our thanks for love. Peel, blue peel, what they hitting for. I dropped out the make, start getting green like I'm trained to go. Form it with my let's call it B. Playing, manifesting, yeah. Harvest reaping, counting blessings, yeah. Always winning through the lessons, yeah. Trap cheating, yoga stretching, yeah. Seed planting, manifesting, yeah. Harvest reaping, counting blessings,
Yeah.
through the lessons, yeah. Trap cheating, yoga stretching, yeah. I ain't going wrong. One way God for good job. The odds with the squad, we don't know. We know wrong. Speaking to is it then like voila. No facade. Big up to all our thanks for the lot. Red pill, blue pill, what they oh. I dropped out the matrix and started getting green like Piccolo. I'm free as can be. TTG, yeah, I'm trained to go. Form it with my dog, just call it B.
Let's go.
Keep saying I'm the one, B-I-N-G-O, bingo. Took the red pill to the dome, I really am Neo. I'm manifesting anything I want, that shit set in stone, that's facts. Praying secret, I can't let them know. I can't help myself, I was heaven sent. I'm just getting started, this my genesis. I can't go to hell, that's my nemesis. Only time I'm looking back
Queen
is
Tender B.
Hi, mama. I'm on fire, so the lighter, real heat, bitch. Flying high, ain't shit. I'm in the field, smoking dodo, and this was lit. Focus on my purpose, yeah, this got this on some other shit.
Yeah, that is the cut indeed.
That's it right there. That's it. That's fire. Drop the fire bombs in the comments,
Yeah.
They went crazy.
Yeah, we've been bumping that all year long.
really.
Man, So that's that right there. I'm glad that that was dropped on this week because that engulfs the conversation that I really want to have with y'all because it's called posse cut, and we don't get posse cuts in this music industry anymore. It's not too much collaborative frequencies happening mainstream of this magnitude. So y'all really cut from another cloth with this one.
No, honestly, so grateful to be a part of that one too, because I mean, everybody who was there knows it was such a vibe to have all the energy in the studio and to create from that and just be able to align in these different cities and states to bring these things to life.
Yes. So, just for people to know, I met Nirvana and Woody were we in LA? It was LA, I believe, for the Zen and Kush.
Beginning of the year.
Yeah. And it's just like immediate soul connection. And I'm really big on that because I'm the type of person where I'm not really friendly. I'm gonna just say that. I'm not the friendly type of energy. I don't really be like, oh, everybody don't gravitate towards me.
Right.
So when people connect, it's like deeper than, we don't have to have too much conversation. We don't have to talk very often, but it's a deeper connection that's felt that I feel that lets me know that we are aligned on different dimensions than just us connected in the physical, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. 100,000%.
Yes. And once we connected, this was right when me and Stas had first started our nomadic journey, and you guys really helped us out a lot with just tips and tools on how to travel, how to pack, how to shop while you on the road, and it just warmed my heart because I'm like, don't nobody just know this type of stuff. These is gems that gave us to like really enhance our life, and that speaks so much deeper than just a high and by, a pass, or a follow or something like that. Those type of things don't really matter. Real gems that we exchange really matter to me, and connections.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, we literally have our closet. We got everything up in here. We got the cooler.
Actually, the funniest part though is that we were traveling a little bit by the time we met, but this year, especially towards the end of this last year, has been the most of our travels where we've refined even more. Yeah. And so we've been going on month-long stretches, 2-month-long stretches. And this is a little bit of how we refined it. Like, it's cold, so we have our jackets up here. We got our suitcases with our regular clothes in the back. We have our cooler full of our cool goods. And then we have that was my knee. We got a box here that has all our dry goods, our seasonings and spices, our teas, our just really everything we need, bulk items. We have everything that we could possibly need, because not everyone has what we enjoy as our standard of living. If you go to a hotel at Airbnb, not everyone has what you need to continue to sustain your life to the degree and standard that you have set for yourself. Not every friend lives the same way you do. You can connect, but they don't live the same, and you can't your standards of how you operate just because you're on the road.
So true.
You have to keep your standard high no matter where you're at.
No matter. Hence on the nomad.
That was one of the things that we talked about on our first Treat Your Temple, when I spoke with y'all about how when you're encountering different energies, how you can really stand in your own, like how you can be more intentional and really not allowing yourself to be shifted out of balance when you're encountering people that may not live like you, that may not respect you, how you live as much as you do. You know what I'm saying? Just standing into that. And I'm really grateful for what y'all share with me, because like I said, at that time I was at the beginning of learning how to stand in that. And I'm really I guess you could say an empath when it comes to energies. I kind of like allow myself to feel other people more than I need to. I had to really put a boundary up, like, this is what I need for myself, and refining what I need for myself. So when someone comes into my space, if what they're bringing to me and that I'm sampling, or I'm feeling from them, I'm allowing myself to be taken in from them, isn't against what I know I innately need for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes into relationships, because that's also what we talked about. We talked about how that could even go into your relationships, your intimate relationships as partners. If everybody knows here that me and Sauce are polygamous, and we do open our relationship up from time to time to allow other energies in that we could collaborate with. And it was like first we had to get to know each other. First of all, me and him, we have a certain level of intimacy with one another, connection with each other, things that we relate to with each other. And then allowing someone else in, we got to get to know them, they got to learn us, we got to learn each other and respect each other. And it's just like, it's a journey. I'm gonna say that it's a journey. It's a lot. And so we had to, from then until now, we've come up with verification processes. I was able to implement the purple principles as well, through learning how to set those boundaries for myself in relationships, any type of relationships. And I'm so grateful for it, y'all, because that was something that you really like gave me a gem on. Like, when you're encountering people, it got to be boundaries. And how you set boundaries within yourself is amazing, but how you set them boundaries with other people is a whole nother form of magic. So y'all do so very well.
Thank you. That's honestly amazing. I'll be like, because we just be sharing, and then when we hear those affirmations of you impacted my life in this way, I'm like, that's amazing. Thank you for just receiving.
It's a whole different feel when somebody has taken something from what we've shared, from our experience, from our knowledge, from our experiences, and implemented it, and then you see the change that has happened from it. It's like the potential is always in it, but not everybody takes advantage of implementing certain things. We're big on just the gems that we accumulate in this world from other people as well. We put them straight to work and get the results, because that's the only way to actually get the experience from it, is to apply it and get a just understanding of what that can bring to your reality.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I know I sent y'all, I'm, like I said, I'm a night owl, so I'll be up working in the wee hours of the night. I sent you all your energy flow reports, and I did give you all a little bit of the overview of it when we were speaking the other night.
Yeah.
I know y'all probably haven't had time to delve into them, because they are like 20 pages long, and they're so in depth that you really want to sit with that, because immediately that's something that you can immediately begin to implement in your life. Because I was able to immediately implement that. And just with y'all speaking, like what Nirvana was saying, that's literally in your energy flow report, how you are able to set those boundaries and have particular ways in which you live your life that show that you can show that to other people. Like, this is how you set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? That's how your energy even flows for yourself and others. And then Woody, he gives the gem and looks and sees how it's being implemented. As a projector, that's how that works. That's how it works. Because I'm just always giving them, like, literally, he's like a just affirmational, just be spitting
the affirmational priest over here. He be preaching to you all the affirmations of the life.
Yeah, the words be speaking to me.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know, that may be in the comments, Nirvana is, what do you call the art that you give in your dance? What do you call it? Because it's not just that. It's not just.
I say I'm a multidimensional movement artist, and that spans from like the different modalities of movement that I venture into. And then also, yes, it's more than movement. It's a meditation. It is an act of inspiration too. I am sent here as a vessel to inspire people to not only just move, but take their movement practice to higher dimensions of expression. So that's me. And I'm an artist in many other forms. I take nutrition very seriously, specifically the enjoyment of your nutrition. It's something I'm very passionate about, something that I see so clearly. I see, the affirmed side and the negative side as well, and I see it so clearly, and I'm here to deliver those messages as well. Also multi-dimensional movement artist in other ways of like, I just wrapped this crystal for the first time yesterday.
Oh, multi-dimensional artist.
Yeah, so like anything I pick up, anything I touch, it's gold. So that's my art, just life, living life and exploring and experiencing it.
Oh, and you do it so gracefully. Just gracefully. If y'all not following Nirvana and seeing the art that she presents and seeing it in real life, like tears has come to my eyes watching her dance sometimes. Like the movement is so powerful because I come from a space where I used to go to the strip clubs. I used to, be in the clubs where the vibration is it's engaging, and you know what I'm saying, because there's magic in movement.
That's where
there's magic,
baby. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
So just that elevation of it, where not only are you moving the magic, but you're also engaging someone in the art. The art part of it. That's next level. That's God. That's God right there. So we got multi-dimensional movement artist and gem dropper, and that is next level rapper. So I know you got a whole nother drippy name for how you coming with the rap.
Yeah. So I call myself a conscious creator of all things divine, because everything I express through comes from the same source. But I'm like lyrical alchemist, designer alchemy, digital art. Anything I'm any form that I can express myself through my consciousness through. I'm just a creative genius that I have a never-ending pool of inspiration that just allows me to express myself creatively in the highest form, and to share that source to remind people of the power that they are, so that they don't allow themselves to disperse their power into externals, and they take.
Uh-oh, did it break up for y'all? Okay, I think they broke. Okay, they coming back in. Here we go.
Yo, that's how serious it. That's how serious
it got too hot in here.
Oh, for real.
We had to switch phones.
But yeah, so he was getting drippy with it, for real. He was getting drippy because that's multi-dimensional, y'all speak with about. So I call my because where we are now is we're shifting from the normal. I'm an artist. I'm a dancer. I'm a rapper. I'm a secretary. These normal jobs. We are elevating the consciousness in everything we do. There's mindfulness in what we do. So we gotta put a little drip on the titles. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They got this. My new word, frequentially in alignment.
Come on,
I like that, baby.
In alignment to our true essence, so that we can embody them more. I think that's very important. So I'm now calling myself a life force organizer, because I was going by the energy healer, which I still am, because it's energy with me, but more helping people really resonate with themselves on a deeper level from their life force. So organize, understanding through what you're eating, what you're consuming, down to your chakras, down to yourself, how you speaking to yourself, how you physically aligning with yourself, how are you mentally aligning with yourself, just really tapping into your life force, and organizing that. And it's been powerful because what, like I said, the song represents, the album that the song is a part of, is unifying us and making us come together in a more common unity.
Yes.
When we come together as in a common unity, we all have to identify as something and know what we're bringing. And I love how, like, that's why I asked y'all. I know you know, just call yourself a dancer, because in my world, in the purple world that we are now a part of,
Yeah.
I don't want just dancers. I want multidimensional artists. I want people who are intentional about what they're bringing, because now we're in collaboration with, I can now move someone's life force and organize someone's life force in a direction where they may need to multidimensionally move some things, and we can to elevate all the way around. So that's really the highlight of today. That's really the highlight. And I also, like I said, through what y'all taught me, the revelations that I got from our last conversation helped me a lot in producing the Purple Principle. That helps me get back to the intention behind things. You know what I'm saying? Because I could be swayed easy. I'm not gonna lie. I could be swayed easy just because I've been programmed, conditioned through things. There's so many like it's hard for me to even go to Target because of the suggestions. It's just like I get suggestion overloaded. So myself back in some type of way, and y'all help me be like, you gotta get something to bring you back to you. You know what I'm saying? How do you get back? And that's what I formulated, the Purple Principles, where I could be like, okay, is this bringing peace? First peace, purple.
Come on.
Is something that represents unity? What do I want to unify with this, whether it be a place or a thing? Is this reciprocal, the R? Is this pleasurable? Is this gonna bring me pleasure, or it pleasure, or bring pleasure to the world in some type of form or fashion? Is this on the love frequency and not just algorithm? Because that's what I was talking about the other day. Because there's a difference. There's a big difference. Is this like really tapping into the love frequency? And is this expensive? Is this expensive? Any little thing I could go back to that in those moments, and I'm really grateful, because before, like I said, I'm really subjective to suggestions, where to the point where I be encounter with nobody. I don't go places sometimes, or connect. It really diminishes that connection that the purple actually represents. So help bring me back to that space, because that's also what I want to talk about too. Because you asked me that the other night, Nirvana. You was like, "What does that mean, purple? Like my name being perp. What does that represent?" Also, a part of what it represents, because it used to just represent royalty for me and luxury. You know, that's the essence of purple, and I do represent that. I'm a royal bit. You know, I'm a lineage. You know, but also connected to a higher source.
Exactly.
That's
The
what it's
unification.
really about. The unification of all of the one and the all. And I felt like when I'm moving myself away from things because of the suggestions, I'm diminishing the connection that could possibly be made there.
Yeah, so it's like a perspective shift that has to take place, to where it's like I can be aware of this suggestion, but I can also redirect it to something that feels good to me in this moment, or I don't have to perceive it as being separate or less than. I can just be aware of it and know that, I'm not going to, take that on into my sphere of things, but I'm not going to act like it's less than or separate from me, because it all exists. But it's like, how do I want to interact with it?
And that's what I love about what you did with the purple, because that allows you a filter system too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not only, it's like now you have a subconscious and conscious filter system that as you're being impressed by these impressions of life, it gets to filter through that, and you naturally know what you want to engage with based off of your standards and intentions that you've put behind that.
I could give a little example that I gave to you the other night. Just even driving through our city that we live in, just in the actual residential areas, the more grocery store areas. It's like there's so many suggestions of billboard signs or just the business signs that are drawing you in, making you want to eat certain things that you're not actually hungry for, or that you weren't even thinking about until you stepped foot outside the house. You weren't thinking about going and shopping and spending $200 until you saw that store you like over there. But you will forget that exists when you are at home for 4 days, taking care of food stocked up. You're doing your creative work. You're in a zone. You're in that vortex. You're in that experience. But then as soon as you step foot outside of the house, or as soon as you turn on the television set, now you're getting all these different suggestions of what you want to eat, what you want to buy, what you want to medicate with. Oh, there's this fun thing to do. Comparisons on social media. It's like there's so many impressions that we come across each and every day as soon as we step foot or step eyes out into the outside world. And it's like, it's not a bad thing to want to be a part of the outside world, but it's like, can you be so keen to those suggestions to where they don't have a hold on you, and you can exist in them? You can go into that grocery store and know exactly what you're looking for, and not get wavered by any other thing that pops up on the shelf that you might have experienced in a past life or a past season.
Exactly. And that has been an amazing perspective shift, because now I can, like you said, filter those things. And it goes even further with what you were saying about the suggestions, because it's not just your conscious, like, oh, I see that. They're even the suggestions are even frequently suggesting to you, to your cells, to your chakras and your levels, even the entities that may be within you. You know what I'm saying? They're speaking to those things where you may not even know why you're gravitating towards this.
Yeah.
That you, like you said, I had a list. You know what I'm saying? I had a list of things, and I don't even usually like this, but it's something about this Snicker or whatever candy bar that's calling for me. And in those times, if I can be like, okay, this is something that's outside of my list. Why am I gravitating towards this?
Wow.
Why are you calling to me? And now it's giving more attention to myself. Do I got a parasite in? You know what I'm saying? Am I sad? Is it like?
Yeah, is it emotionally tied to it?
Yeah.
And I've learned, even for me personally, just being aware of myself, and I'm a foodie to the max. So when I get hungry, everything sounds good. It's like I look around and I'm like, I just want something, give me that. But I know it, so I don't feed it. But I definitely can recognize when that voice within the psyche is just playing itself out, and he's like, hey, there's that right there, there's that. And it's like,
shut up.
Exactly.
Get
your ass out of there, because we on a mission. We're gonna get back home. We got take the time, be patient, cook our stuff that we wanted.
Right.
No, for real. So what is a way, because I know we haven't always been here. And y'all had been at another level last year when you put that gem in my head. What practices did you do to strengthen that up? Because that takes a lot of willpower, that takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of just mental strength to even have that, to be like, okay, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm going in the store and I'm intentionally eating these things. Like you said, Nirvana, I'm gonna have some fries, some Chick-fil-A, but I'm not eating the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Around, maybe not on that. That ain't what they own. They all on the sauce. You know what I'm saying? They saucing. So how do you like really build that up to be like, nope, this is what I'm doing?
So this is something I love to talk about, because I learned this through substances, whether it be alcohol, marijuana, coke, party drugs like ecstasy, Molly, psychedelics like LSD, mushrooms. Substances is where I initially learned it from. Abstinence is the key. And it's not about like, oh, being just completely abstinent and never doing any of that. No, you have to abstain from whatever substance you're interacting with long enough to where you detoxify your body, you minimize the connection, the reliance,
The pathways,
the habits with it. You have to abstain long enough from these substances to minimize all of that. So that way, when you do choose to interact from there, you can do it more intentionally and more moderately. Same thing with food. It's been a journey. We're plant-based. We're not vegan. We don't really care for the fake eggs, the fake cheeses, the fake meats, all the processed things. We eat as close to nature as God intended. And it took a journey because we had to abstain from first meat and dairy. And then we grew the awareness and learned information that fortified our decision to not even go back.
Yes.
Right? And then furthermore, from the processed things, we abstained from those. We learned more information, and we felt how the difference of when we did choose to interact with it here and there. It's like I'll eat, something that is processed nowadays, and I'll feel it. I'll be like, yo, I don't feel like shit, but I don't feel how I feel when I eat my raw salad over here, or when I eat that cooked plate of veggies that I made at home.
Right.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We've done it so many times where it's just trial and error. Like, we've been in positions where we pay $40 for a meal and realize, like, it doesn't even come close to what we make at the crib. And it's like, we have such a high standard. We're so bougie when it comes to food that it's like, if you can't fulfill our standard and then some, we're not even outsourcing. And it's got to be wholesome. It's got to feed us on different levels, because a quick fix, I'd rather wait the hour and let my body discipline itself when it thinks it's hungry, and just strengthen that willpower to know that I'm okay. I'm not going to die in this next hour that it's going to take me to make something real quick.
Right. And deciphering between what is for pleasure and what is actually nourishing you. Something that's actually nourishing you can be pleasurable, and in fact it should. But a lot of people disassociate those two from one another, and which is a reality that you can live in. But a lot of people eat just for pleasure, and they're not even worried about how it's nourishing. They don't even correlate the two things exist or simultaneously, and so they think they're missing out if they're eating for nourishment, and they don't see that you don't
have to sacrifice.
So that's where that's where I feel like a lot of people are under this veil of illusion, and it's important for us to share these conversations so that they know there's options out there. It will strengthen your willpower when you stop gorging on that pleasure from the drugs, the alcohol, the fried foods, the fatty foods, the meats, the dairies. All of that is for pleasure, honey, and you can't tell me different. Because when you look into the scientific experience of it interacting with our body, that's all I gotta say. When you look into it,
science. Exactly.
Killing
and I
yourself.
love what you said, Woody, because that's really what we have to make the new standard of nourishing ourselves. I'm bougie enough to know that ain't that fast food, that convenience that ain't gonna meet up. I don't care what the labels look like. I don't care what the aesthetics of it look like. If it's not nourishing mind, body, and spirit, it ain't coming in me.
I gotta say one thing about that too, because when we have been on the road, we gotta stop at the convenience stores for gas and ice. Okay, we don't even get water from there. We got a big jug that we fill up, and if we do, it's spring water. But I look in there every time I need to go to the bathroom, or every time we're getting to pay for gas or ice. I'm like, wow, it's only poison in here. even the good things you think are good, like the juices, they
Trick
are
you.
chemically processed.
The label before it hits the table, because them
Come on.
part is to make you buy it. It is not telling you for real.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
And the funniest part is, guess what they use to really draw you in? Colors.
Whoop.
Guess what is the color of those same colors? Guess what foods those are found in? You got fruits. You got vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's it. Oh, maybe some herbs,
But
like some
then they
flowers
spray
and stuff.
artificial and dyes. I'm like, everything is fruit flavored, but there's no flavor in it. Where are they getting these flavors from? They're not even getting it from actual fruits. They're getting it from chemicals. When I learned that, that's the newest thing me and Sauce been on, is really getting away from natural flavors. When we look at the
Not
ingredients, natural flavors, it's like, whoa, why is this in everything?
because they don't know how to make good food.
Well, and I also think about this. I do think about both sides. I'm like, when you think about perishables, like they're trying to stock things on the shelf that will last 3 years. You got to do something different than, you know what I'm saying, pulling it out the ground. But for the people who really just want to take ownership of their own reality, it's a necessity to know these things, because it is a deceiving. I mean, even we were in Mississippi and we were watching the TV with her grandparents, and the commercials are so hilarious. It would be a commercial about like, oh, this is going to be a fix if you have bloating and all these things or something. And then it's like, as they're telling you, they're voicing certain, this can cause irritation on the skin, it can cause this, but then below that, there's also subtitles that say the worst one. So not only are like they trying to tell you it's a quick fix and it's not even getting to the root of the problem, and then they're stating what it could go wrong, but then they're not really stating it, but they're putting it in fine print. The worst things, you can die, you can have all these crazy things. It's like, yo, they're telling you in front of your face, but we will still consume it. So it's really up to us, because they're so slick that they'll tell you, they'll put it in the ingredients.
Oh, they got.
But most people don't even read the ingredients,
or they don't know what it is, and so they're like, "Oh, I'm used to eating this. I don't care what it is." But all in all, to circle back to the question and the main intention of this long, beautifully winded answer is, when it comes to being able to sift through and decipher through the suggestions that we see from driving down the street, all the business signs calling for our attention, walking through the grocery or the convenience store, all the different colors calling for our attention, all the different familiarities, all the people online hitting you up in your inbox saying, let's hang out, or let's do this, let's create this. It's like, no. You create your reality, and there is the outside world that is full of everything that exists, and not all of it is good for you. So you have to abstain from interacting with everything from time to time, so that way when you reintegrate with interacting with it, because you have abstained, you can now consciously choose the way in which you interact with it, because you are not drugged up, essentially. You are not fully immersed. You're
not already swayed or biased to one side.
See it from an outside perspective.
Yeah. And that's where that discernment comes into play. And if we're not still enough to be in touch with that discernment, it won't come into play, because
if we're not willing to abstain,
we'll be too in touch with one side, and that habitual pattern will speak louder than the discernment, and we won't be able to make those decisions in the critical pivotal points that is necessary too.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. And that goes into my next question about discernment. Okay, so abstaining helps build up your will and your ability to sift through the suggestions.
Yes.
And how do you build up the discernment for what's good for you? Because like you said, the TV will tell you this will help get rid of your heartburn. This will help get rid of your heartburn. But but better yet, the better question is, what do you think we could offer to the collective of people that may be wanting to control their reality more? How, what can we do for that? How can we give them some insight on strengthening their discernment when creating their own reality? Because we essentially have the power to do that, but is it the choice that we have to make every single day? Literally, choice every day we make is giving that.
That's so intense. Like, it's such a powerful subject. I'm like beaming out of my whole skin right now because there's so many things, but I would sum it up in a couple things. Like, one, knowing who thyself is. Like, when you know who you are on a true higher realm, then you know you have to take responsibility for your reality, because there is no other. It's only you. So if you know that you rely on yourself, then that will put you in a seat to use the driving force of discernment, but to strengthen it. I feel like not only trial and error, but honoring yourself. So when you know yourself, you got to honor yourself. Anytime you sway and you go outside of your comfort zone, you're going to be reminded of why you shouldn't have. And if you pay attention to life and that feedback that you get from these trial and errors of experiences, it's going to slowly build it to the point where you're not willing to take it anymore. And it might take a while. You might deal with that bullshit ass boss at your job talking that shit every time. And over time, you're just going to get to the point where it's just, you get to a point where whatever you're experiencing that is going against your values and your internal compass, it's going to outweigh itself and tip the point where you won't settle anymore. And so it's like, as quick as you can get to that point by honoring the self, recognizing when things don't serve you, and tailoring that experience, like if you look up a question online and you don't get exactly what you wanted in the search, you refine that question. So it's like we put things out, we get feedback from the world, and then that feedback's helped us refine our question to dial in what works for us. And that voice that guides it, that little voice, amongst the many other voices of suggestion and these impressions, it's like the more we can find that little initial instinctual voice that is so quick but always present, you listen to that, it starts to get louder. And the more you ignore the things that you know don't serve you, they get quieter. And that's how you start to slowly shift that that pendulum to where it's not swinging back and forth, but it's still, and you're still in that center point of who you truly are. And that's where all the answers are. The discernment is natural when you're in that state.
Ashe. And I'll say one last thing to seal it up too, specifically with that topic of when you're having the suggestions, how do you discern through that? It is knowing that nothing outside of your physical self, and we'll say that on a worldly sense because we're talking about worldly suggestions, they don't have a cure for you. You have the cure, and it comes in the form of all of the natural things that have been placed here through the creator, through the source, right? If I have the same genetic structure as a nettle plant, or as a blue lotus plant, or as a, bundle of, oh no, we won't even say that. We'll say the original bananas, right? If I have the same genetic structure generally as that, we are cut from the same cloth. So that's the thing that's going to help me, not the pill that other guy made. So just knowing that nothing in this world that is outside of yourself is going to help you. Only the things of this world, the natural things that were here when we were created, all the things that were created together at the same time.
It's like God created man. If man created it, it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, when it comes to that
earth
nourishment.
and the heavens and everything in between. God created man, earth, the heavens, and everything in between. So whatever God created, that's what's going to heal you.
And the cool thing is, I saw Sauce on here bringing it back. It's like there's two sides of the spectrum. There's you can have intuition, and you can be tapped into that intuition, or you can be really just intuition, and you'll be lost in like this disconnect of wishing things and wishing it was this or wishing it was that, and being disconnected from the result that you're calling in. Or you can be in tune with that which you are, and that intuition will stray you away from needing to be wishing out here, and you'll get exactly what you asked for because the intention will be clear, and you won't waver from those intentions. So you won't scatter your creative energy into a bunch of variables that you were unconscious you were giving it to.
Oh, yeah. And then even something that you said earlier is it's like identifying things so you can ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? So if you are in a position where a suggestion is being made, like you're suffering from diabetes and take this pill and this will help your diabetes, you shouldn't be asking, okay, what's going to help me? Ask yourself, why? How did I get here?
Yes.
What caused
Causing
this?
balance.
That is going to be the ultimate fix to anything. If you're in a relationship that's not serving you, you're not feeling fulfilled, don't ask, what can I do to fix this? Ask, what got me here in the first place? How did I get here? That's the answer. And through those activities, constantly applying that, you're going to build your discernment, because now you know how you got into a situation. Now, furthermore, in that situation, you can heal that, or leading into a new situation, you know what not to do.
Right. Oh yeah, these is definitely gems. Is y'all picking up on the gems that they're dropping? It's full in here. So, whoa, I love that. What you said, Nirvana. Everything that you need is given through nature. And when I first came on to the live, I was telling people about how we came here with instructions. We came here with a blueprint. So we were made in God's image. So there's a specific instruction, blueprint, map. I like to call it the cosmic blueprint that we have, that we can tap to get to our true nature that was set for us before we took our first breath. I mean, right when we took our first breath, took our first breath, the map of our whole life was given to us in that moment. So what we can do is a lot of tap back into that nature, because immediately got the doctor. However you brought into this world, we were suggestions immediately from our first breath. You know what I'm saying? So tapping back into that, so you get back to that control of your reality.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
I mean, there's a quote: "God asleep is man, man awake is God." When we are in that self that we think we're a body among many others and it's all separate from us and outside of us, then you're going to see separation, and you're going to be met with an infinite amount of variables that are going to come into play that you got to decipher through. Or you're going to remember yourself back to who you truly are. And when you wake that up and you rely on source, not relying on these external variables for that guidance and for that blueprint, then you'll be residing in that nature state rather than these natural flavors that they be trying to feed. Using the same word. It's like, how you gonna take that and try to flip nature on us? Has nothing to do with it.
And it's really just like and I say this lightly, I'll explain. It's almost this deceptive or misconceptive experience that we find ourselves in. Everyone finds themselves in it at some point in time to a certain degree or intensity, right? And what it is for us to wake up. How can we wake up if we've never fallen asleep? So again, to the point he made of, you're not one amongst many, you are one being experienced as many, right? We are in this deceptive experience thinking we are one amongst many, and that's because we were born into a world that is not close to nature anymore. And so it's up to us to wake up and realize that we are the one being expressed as many. So if I want to change my reality, if I'm not liking what I'm seeing out here, I'm not liking this person, that person, what that person's doing, what that person's feeding or eating, well, guess what? That's me. That's an aspect of myself. It may be showing up outside of my physical body, but it is me. So if I don't want to experience that anymore, I can change my reality by the thoughts I think, the food I eat, the people who I choose to be around, the experiences I choose to be around. And furthermore, the more I change what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and how I'm acting, the more my reality will change around me. And guess what? You can change your immediate reality and it's all sunshine and rainbows, but then you decide to get in a car and hop over to another state. You're going to experience a place that is completely different from what you have created in your reality, what you have chosen to embody in your reality. But guess what? It all exists. So now you got to go into that experience with your level of being, have your boundaries, have your discernment, so that way you could still operate in this world that you've created, even though you now are experiencing the all that is existing.
Absolutely. Well, we can't hide from the fact that it all exists, and we can't hide
Exactly.
from the fact that it all comes from the same source. So it's cat dog. You can't separate them. They're connected at the back. So when we realize that these polar opposites in this reality are connected, you can't separate them. You find your individual balance within the polar opposites. And that's how you stay within your realm of intention and creation, to stay within your peace and whatever serves you to be in your remembrance of who you truly are.
Come on.
Yes, indeed. Okay, we got a question here, and I really do want to go into this because this is important. What if you love those and want to change those aspects without making them feel a way? How would you go about changing the reality there? Okay, that he kind of just answered that, but specifically, you can't change people. Let's just say that you can't change other people. What you can do is change your perspective. What you can do is change your way of being and reflection of that, and reflect what you would like to see in them. That is the only way that you can change the reality that you're in with those people.
Yeah.
Because
we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. So life is just reflecting what we believe to be true. And there's a guy that I like to read his he was in like the 50s or something, Neville Goddard says that, like, he used to have sermons and he would have somebody share with him what they're going through. Let's say they were looking for a job and they were, they had to take care of all these things, they just got fired or anything. He would use his God power, his consciousness, and within his consciousness and within his being, he would hear them telling him that he's gainfully employed and he's making double what he made at his old job. He would use his power to see them in the light that they already are. So it's like, that's one thing we could do for the people we love, is not only setting by example and doing what we know is the cure by being the cure, but then also in the silence. You don't got to tell them. Go in the silence and see them already having what they desire to have. If you really care, use your God power and see it as it's already done. And that's what's going to be the vote that's going to successfully cast it into your reality as a reflection back to you.
And then there's an opposite side to that coin too. Okay, because we get into all the perspectives. So if you're actually wanting to change someone and how they show up in your reality, that's the key. Changing your perspective, as you mentioned, changing your perspective of how you see them and actually feel that, see that, honor that, and it will change because your frequency emits, and they will start getting inspiration to do certain things out of nowhere because you're seeing them in that. So it's aligning, okay? But the opposite side to the coin, if you can't shift your perspective on someone, or if you've done the work so hard to shift your perspective and you're feeling at a wit's end, remember that you are the creator of your reality. And in this physical form, if we're taking even creator out of it, okay, in this physical form, this body had to have been created by two bodies, a male and a female, and we're talking natural, not no test tube stuff, okay? In the natural law and order, this human, that baby, is made by a male and female parts, okay? Well, guess what? That one was made, so we have a hierarchy of mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather. These are just expressions that make it make sense, okay? So when we feel like now bringing consciousness back into the play. When we feel like we are one amongst many, we put so much weight and value into those titles. But they were just a vehicle, another reflection or expression of consciousness that delivered us here in this form in which we experience ourselves, because consciousness gets expressed through a vessel.
Mm-hmm.
So if we stop looking at them like, oh, that's my mom, or that's my cousin, or that was my friend.
Yeah.
If we stop looking at it like that and put so much weight in them, we realize that's just an expression of consciousness that is delivering information to me about myself, about something I can heal and something I can grow with inside of myself. And so it's not them, it's not the physical person that you're so worried about. It's what they're giving to you,
what they're representing to you.
What they're representing to you. So if it's all negative, baby, let that shit go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if that's your mom and you have done all you could to shift your consciousness, shift your perspective, and they are still embodying a certain frequency, guess what? The mom in your reality might have been the person that is showing you how to create boundaries and let people go who don't live up to you. But it came in the form of a mom, so that way you could really feel what it feels like
To have,
let that go. It was someone so close to you. How about the closest person to you, the one who you came out their portal? Can you let them go if they can't treat you right?
no,
That could be the lesson that you're receiving. So again, two sides to one coin. Either shift your perspective and the people in your reality will shift, or opposite. They could be giving you a life lesson and it's showing up in someone who you think is close to you, but is really not.
Ooh, I honestly say that's my personal journey that I'm traveling through right now. That exact what you're saying, and I had the reminder where, like, if there's a truth that I have, my truth for myself, if you're in my reality, what you're bringing to my reality, is it peaceful? If it's not fine, if it's something that I do want to change, I have to know that the truth within me is so strong, and I have to stand in faith that it's going to be the truth with or without you.
Come on.
And I can't go against myself just because you're my mom, just because you're my dad, or even my child. Because anyone outside of me is, if the truth is I'm standing for this and I'm doing what's right, but is called to elevate my, and I know that it's also going to elevate people's journey experiences, whatever it is that I feel you're not doing, that I want to see you doing, but I'm doing it, me doing it to the utmost, me standing firm in who I am, what I stand for, and having that perspective on it will ultimately do, and anyone is going to ultimately anyone. And like she said, that may be the actual thing that's here to tell you, test that faith that you have, whatever it is that you feel right.
Come on.
And once you know that, if you hold on to those things, it's like you can hold on to the physical things even if they don't represent what you desire to experience, but don't be mad. Don't be mad if you're going to hold on to them and they're not conforming to be a pleasing reality for you. Just accept the fact that you're willing to take that on. Just like if you want to eat foods that you know ain't good for you, don't be mad when you got a stomach ache.
Don't be mad when you get cancer.
Yeah, literally.
You gotta deal with it.
I've seen this in my family. So it's like everything outside our perspective
is what it is. No matter how much you like it, no matter how much you speak over it, no matter how much, even, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is, and you got to accept that as a part of the reality that you're bringing.
Yes. And like you said, when you said that we don't change the externals, we change ourselves. It's like if you looked at everything outside of your perspective, meaning your consciousness, your awareness that seems to be in your skull, if you looked outside of that, even your body and everything you could perceive included, if that was all a mirror, let's say, and it's reflecting you back to what you think, you feel, you believe, this systematic of what you believe to be true, if this is a reflection of what you believe, let me ask you something. If your hair's messed up, are you going to touch the mirror to fix your hair? Impossible. It's like we can't touch these externals and make them change to change what we have to change ourselves to change what we see in the reflection. And that's where the real work lies.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. And it goes so deep because, like I said, that's my personal expression, and I'm still learning, and I'm still building the strength that it takes to say what Sensei said. Fuck them people.
Right.
It takes strength to say that. It ain't easy. It sounds easier than it is. It's simple, but it's not easy. Should I say?
Right.
It's very. It's simple as fuck them people. Let me focus on me. Let me strengthen me. But it's not easy because we have been conditioned to believe that these familiar attachments are more important than our innate calling that we have. If we know that it's wrong, if we know that something is not feeding or nourishing us, it's kind of insanity to feel that I got to keep attaching myself to it.
Right.
I literally have been going through my daughter's chart, and I've been going through my mom's chart, and I've been going through my own chart, my energy flow. I'm running reports, all this shit in the nature of the situation. Like, okay, happening, this is a part of my reality because each one of us have a play in what's unfolding right now. And not doing my part in respecting what part they're playing. I'm not doing if I don't respect the part that they're playing and allow them to play the part however they choose to do that.
Yes.
And it's hard. It's really hard to do, but it's simple. It's simple.
Let go of attachments.
Out of that, you get more out of it if you do that hard part.
And like the cool thing about it is, like, when you hop on a skateboard for the very first time, you're not going to do a kickflip. I promise you that. But like you said, it may be hard, but over time you keep doing what serving yourself and honoring those aspects of self, it does get easier. And then eventually it's not hard. So it's hard at first, but eventually you've had enough times where you've wavered from your standard that you knew was right, and you've seen the effect from it. Eventually it's so easy to be like, nah, you can see it from a mile away.
Come on. And that's another
time. Show up for yourself a couple times. That's gonna feel so good. You're gonna be like, I'm doing it again and again. Let me keep doing it. You do that a couple times and let them people go and allow them to be who they are. Just feel that pleasure.
And that's another aspect of the abstinence too. It's like, you don't have to just be like, call up your friend and be like, we're not friends anymore. It can be as simple as, I'm gonna abstain from these people in my life that are not, feeding me the way I need to, so I can go feed myself. And now I can come back and I can interact with y'all and actually mend things, and we can have a conversation. Or now, because I did so much work on myself, you were over there getting busy with the work too. And now we're sitting here talking like, dang, we both are spitting how we realized we were at fault in certain expressions and how we, caused odds with each other because you are pouring into yourself and you're abstaining from the things that made you mad or the things that activated that demon within you. And so now you've calmed that down. And even if you do have to go into the same exact space, you're now more equipped to handle the same energy because you are new. So now that situation becomes new. Even if it's the same, it looks the same, even though you're dealing with the same arguments, you're coming to the arguments new. So now from there, you have alchemized the situation and you have set forth a new precedence. And that is a powerful thing to do. Utilize abstinence for the relationships in your life until you can come through
and
with
just to strengthen your willpower.
And your
willpower.
It's
like if you have a habitual habit of smoking, like I used to smoke way more than I do now, and it wasn't bad. But this is the thing, though. Was it to a point where I can actually just say I don't want to smoke today and do that? Or do I literally am I just justifying the habitual pattern that's so
because
loud?
It's not that bad, because you can still be productive even when you're high.
But then when I stop smoking for a week only and come back and try to hit it in the day when I got shit to do, when I got shifts to do, then I understand that it's actually inconvenient. So I'm going to be like, I realize when I got a task to do, I'm not as more inclined to smoke. But when I want to get creative and I'm getting in the studio, yeah, I'm gonna partake in this ceremonial smoke, and I'm gonna use that for my creative exploration because it's more cohesive. But if I didn't take some abstinence, I'm thinking I'm good because I could smoke a lot, and then I'm just literally being unproductive, taking time that it takes to roll something, do all that. There's just so many variables that we're blind to when we're so in something and so immersed into it until we take time to step out long enough to come with a clean slate and re-interact with that, like she's saying, and get our actual honest moderation and our honest balance within those two polar opposites of whatever it is.
Absolutely. We gotta find the balance within it. Because it's not, because that, and that kind of answer your question again, like when you come back from those things, they don't want to, and that's just showing you what is it about it that you still want to? What part about it that about the relationship that first you had to abstain from? You know what I'm saying? What about it was you needed some abstinence from, and then now once you come back and it's still not there, that you still connect, and they not. You may have been doing your work, like your work, and they not have been doing the work. They're still stuck in that space where you had to remain. And when you come back into it, are they presenting something that you want to collaborate with?
You know, I even was thinking, like, it all comes down to love. That's all we want. We want to receive and give love. And when we tie love needing to be coming in the forms, the physical human forms in which we have familiarities or familiarities, right? We have to realize it's not that we want to love these people, but we've been conditioned to think that that's the
it needs to come through those forms.
But it's we're just looking for love in general. Yeah, we're looking for love in general. So open yourself up to receiving love, and that's the cure. If you're not receiving love, go somewhere else. And again, don't be looking for the love. Be the love, and choose to be around people who reflect that same love.
And on top of that, don't idolize the forms that they show up in. Like, so we have, where we go, every single place we're at, magical moments. It doesn't matter where we're at, because we don't waver from our frequency anymore. So it could be like people that are not on this frequency that we're on. When they interact with us, we're going to have a magical moment. It might be to them way more bold because they might have never had that in their life. But the thing is we can't think like, oh, because this person was so cool when I met him. We don't have to hold on to all those thinking that the person is the idea. They could have been the vessel that just reflected us back to us the knowledge or the insight that we needed in that moment. And sometimes people be trying so hard to hold on to it. That's why they're so worried about, like, they have to go to Jerusalem just to be in the same spot that Jesus walked. But it's like, do you even get the idea of the parable that is being presented to you through these understandings and these stories and these conscious reminders of who you are? Or are we labeling it to, like, oh, I had a good time and I think it's this person, I need to hold on to this person. You may kick it with them next week and they never have the same experience ever again.
Nope.
So just be okay with it.
Reflection that you needed for yourself in that time. And that is, have to get a whole another idea of what love, because if we loving ourselves enough, we know that sometimes it's showing love for people to not interact with you anymore. It is showing love for you to allow people to be who they are.
Yes.
And that's real understanding of love. It's not love just be like, okay, we still continue on with this relationship because we are family or lovers or friends. And I had that connection, and this is how we showed love before, by connecting. No, I'm going to continue to love you through the understanding that we're not in that space anymore.
Come on. Neville Goddard said, love is your birthright. Do not go seeking for that which you are. You don't need to go looking for it in other things. It's like, if love is your birthright, do not go seeking for that which you are. You are love. Be the cure and watch it reflect into your physical mirror that we see as physical reality.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. This has been some gems filled here. Oh, I'm so grateful for this conversation. because that's exactly I feel that we have to have more of these. I like what Nirvana say, conversation, conversation about this higher frequency that we're reaching, because all of this is getting renewed. I'm saying all of this is getting renewed. The way that we love ourselves, the way that we have relationships with others and connecting with others, how intentional we are with what we're doing, how intentional we are with getting back to nature. All of this have to be brought to the front in a genuine and authentic way, because a lot of that can even be, it's a cat dog with that, where that could be commercialized and kind of made as a method of just capitalizing. It could be
absolutely,
instead of it being pure essence of getting back to self,
come on,
of reflecting you to yourself. And it always go back to self. If anything or anyone tells you that it stems from them, the relationship you have, the action that you did, if it goes back to anything somebody said, whatever they said to you, if there is a direction towards something outside of yourself, you got to be weary of it.
Yes, and
Facts.
simply put, also is like spend money, spend resources, or put your resources into people who are telling you or showing you that the cure is within you, who are supplying the tools for you to heal yourself, for you to grow yourself.
Reliance on them.
Exactly. Go to the people. If you're wanting to learn a specific, or excuse me, if you're wanting to get healthier, right? Don't necessarily just go to the person who's gonna give you the cure. Go to the person who's going to be like, here's the cure, I'll give this to you, but here's how you can create the cure. Here's the ingredients, so that way you can do this for yourself.
Let's focus on this, the how you even got sick that got you here, that needed this cure, so you don't end up here again needing this cure.
Exactly. Here's how to love yourself, so you don't have to keep relying on other people to do it. Here's how to take care of yourself.
And go to people who have experience. Like, there's a difference. I always say that you can think about something or you can think from it. You either are it or you not. There's theory and there's experience.
Yes.
So there's that difference between, like, there's a lot of knowledge in the world and there's a lot of regurgitation of knowledge. There's a lot of people in the world, I call them faction figures, that will bring facts all day but have no experience. It's like, if you can't tell me from your own experience, I know you ain't put it to work. So I look for that when I'm learning from any source that's bringing me more of knowledge of self. It's like, I can tell when somebody's speaking from it or speaking about it. It's just that internal discernment that I've created, that I can see it so clearly, because everybody want to be something, but it's like, not everybody wants to do what it takes to actually be what they desire to be.
We all got the power.
We got some real life superheroes here. Let the people where they pull up on y'all with these amazing vibes and get tapped into self and to the source, creative movement that y'all have going on.
Yeah. So for me, I spread the source codes, the light codes, primarily through dance. So if you want to learn how to dance or amplify your dance and also get a dose of the consciousness and all of my workshop experiences, then you can find me at I am Nirvana 777. You can find me online at studionirvana.online. All the information is pinned. My IG information is pinned, and you can find my other information through my IG. You can come back to this video at a later time. You can send this video to a friend if you think that they need to hear a little bit of this dose of medicine, right? And then, Woody B.
And let me just say, tap into her, even if you're not a dancer, tap into her IG, because her life is gems. This queen's existence is gems. Everything she does is gold. So tap in.
And one more thing I almost forgot to say is we are currently traveling the nation. So we are actually going on a little vacation, but in March we're going to be on the road again, and we'll be traveling through the southern states from Florida all the way through Georgia, Mississippi, maybe New Orleans, who knows, going through Texas, New Mexico, maybe Colorado, fucking California, right? We're going to be in a state near you if you live along the southern route of this country. So tap in with our workshops, tap in with any other offerings that we choose to share with you, and just stay plugged in, stay tuned into the frequency, baby.
Yeah, and you can follow me like hers. Mine's I am Woody B 777. I have music on every single platform. People formerly know me as Woody Beast. So if you look up Woody Beast, you'll see all the creations I had in my past self. But Woody B from now on will be all my newness. So I have everything from NFTs, NFT music, custom clothing, merch, boutique thrift shop, daily devotional books coming, many creations that are all here to just remind you of the power that you are. That's what I does. That's what I am. So tap in with me on all platforms. On the new song that Sauce God just dropped, I'm on that. You can just stay plugged in many forms, and we will continuously be showing ourselves and being here for all the frequencies, the highest of the frequencies.
And we got one more question that came through. Serve us up.
The mathematician wants to know, what does 777 mean to you both, and how implementing that in this collective year 7?
Okay, so right off the bat, many things that come into mind. So for me, 7 also represents perfection, completion, satisfaction. On the 7th day, he rested after he created the heavens and the earth and everything in it. So this completion, the satisfaction of rest within the knowing of that completion, that perfection of life, self, and staying in that. And then the 3 sevens to me is, we're a fourfold being. We're consciousness expressing itself in fourfold. You're spiritual, you're emotional, you're mental, and you're physical. So physical, mental, and emotional are interpretive levels before you hit the 4th, which is all that is. So perfection on all 3 realms, aligning yourself in a vertical scale to be a fourfold being in harmony with that which you truly are. So that's a major correlation and sum up of how I kind of perceive when I project it.
And the 7 for me, essentially the same thing, but also that self-reflection, the self-empowerment, the self-fulfillment, right? So really diving into your curative power. And just like he said, on the 7th day he rested. God created the heavens, the earth, and everything in between, and on the 7th day he rested. So if we are the being, the creator of our reality, we have to be fulfilled through self. We have to build our self-will, our self-power, our self-fulfillment, and be appreciative of all that we create. And so this is a year where that is being amplified. And I definitely have been experiencing that so much, because I've been doing the work to lead up to the exponential experience of it. And I'm really excited because I've seen so many reflections of self who are doing the same thing. And I'm also excited for the reflections of self who have been calling and yearning to experience that self-empowerment and living the life in which they actually desire it, and feeling good in themselves, and knowing that their life is perfect amidst all the energies at play, but knowing that they can create the perfect life. I'm excited for all of us to just experience that furthermore.
Ashe.
Oh, Ashe. Oh, Ashe. Yep. The frequency is so yummy. Like, that is just delectable. Oh, feel it in your cells with the elevation and enhancing your consciousness with every word and bringing it along so beautifully. Oh my God, yeah. Tap into these lyrical beast and the whole, the floor, the state goddess.
Come
Just come
on.
on. Okay. Y'all tap into them. And oh my goodness, I gotta breathe on that one, because
I
that's
respect it.
it's self. It takes you back to self, and it's like that's all that I'm delving deep into, and it's here. And I'm so grateful that it's here for us to share with others, and like you said, people that have been yearning for it. And I have.
Yeah.
So I'm that we are like putting it on the stage for it to be educated towards more, elevated more, and expanded upon more.
Ashe.
Conversation.
Our conversations
Yeah.
and our connections.
Yeah.
And on that note, I gotta say one last thing. As you mentioned, everything that we've spoke on today sums up to one thing: knowledge of self, intention of self, and the curative power of self. The answer is within each and every one of you. Anything that you're going through, you have the answers, you have the tools, and we are all here. Every single person in your reality, whether it comes in a good or bad or weird form, we are all here to guide you to the knowledge of yourself. And to further your knowledge of self, tap into Sauce God's music, tap into the energy reports with Perp 30, because we only scratched the surface, and we were already so inspired and affirmed as to who we are. The more you know about yourself and the codes of the universe and how they play a part in yourself, because you are a part in itself.
Come on.
The more you know about it, the more you can utilize your creative power to your will. So tap in with the gods.
Okay, so yes, thank you again for another Treat Your Temple Tuesday. I've been with both of them. I do have that song, Posse Cut, on the Treat Your Temple track list on YouTube. It'll take you to Sauce Guys YouTube. I'm just collecting all of the vibes. And so click the link in my bio if you want to get your energy flow report, get a little bit deeper on yourself. And y'all have an amazing rest of your Tuesday.
Thank you.
Blissful day.